There is so much to talk about. Okay, I don't remember my last video. Well, I never remember my last video. Okay, so this is day 6 of the Korean glass skincare routine that I was just convinced that it was bullshit, right? Because my skin was fine. And now it's fine plus. It's fine. My skin looks great. I'm a little fucking annoyed. I went to the interview. I think I told you about the interview. Okay, so I got an email on Indeed in April about this job fair thing. And I'm like, I'm working that day. I can't go. But they emailed me last week and they're like, hey, we'd still really like to talk to you. Can you come in for an interview? And I'm like, look at my schedule. I'm off. I'm like, okay. So the interview was Wednesday. I did not wear makeup that day because look at the skin. I was going to do makeup. And then I saw my skin after 3 days of the skincare and I'm like, well, fuck. All right, fine. Lip balm, some mascara. I got a new cheek stain, but it is dark. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway, so I go in and I'm a little nervous. You know, I haven't interviewed in years. But I decided that I wasn't going to like over prepare. I wasn't going to do any kind of interview prep. I wasn't going to prepare for the questions they might ask. I was just going to go in. I was going to be myself and I was going to talk to these people. Well, I have to open this shit. I talked to the first guy who emailed me about 38 minutes. And he's like, okay, well, let me let you talk to, he said the lady's name. She would be your direct supervisor. I'm like, okay. So, this is like Play-Doh. Anyway, I'm like, all right. So I waited a few, 10 minutes or so. I got chenille lines on my face because I just woke up. I had a weird ass dream. Anyway, didn't matter. I got too much in real life to talk about my dream right now. Anyway, so I talked to her about 30 minutes. And I'm just being myself. I'm not trying to give her the right answers. Because here's the thing, if I go in and I'm the ideal candidate and I give the perfect interview answers and then I get hired and I show up for work, I'm not going to be the same person I was in the interview. This way, I am this person. Are we going to be a good fit? Because as exhausted and tired and miserable as I've been lately in my current job, I'm still employed, right? I still have options. I have options. Well, apparently that went well, because then she went to get another lady, and I talked to HR, and they gave me a signed job offer. A printed sheet of paper with a job offer. And I signed it. I signed it. I'm not starting at the bottom of this organization, but there is room to grow. There's room for advancement. In my current place, I am at the highest level I could be. There is one position above where I am, and it's less than what I will be making at the new place. I don't want it. So, I gave my 2 weeks notice on Thursday, about 20 minutes into my shift. I didn't write it down. I told the GM and the closing manager that night because I came in to do dinner rush. Oh, fuck, I don't eat powder yet. And the GM said, "What the fuck, Christina?" And the other manager's like, "Oh shit." And she's looking at the calendar and she's looking at my date that I gave her. She's like, "Well, I'm on vacation." I was like, "You'll be back the next day." She goes, "But you're leaving when I'm on vacation." Which I take to mean that she's, you know, gonna miss my whole last week there. So then I walked around and I told certain people, select people, you know, I'd find somebody away from everybody else and I'd tell them, and where's my fucking contour brush? There it is. Anyway, so yeah, this will be the last Get Ready With Me as a Server video I make. Maybe ever. Because this is my last serving shift. Next week, it's all going to be management shifts. And then after that, I no longer work there. So, I'll still keep you updated for those of you who are interested to learn about, you know, my life. But this is the last video where I'm getting ready for a serving shift. Because at my new place, I'm not doing that anymore. I am going somewhere where I don't have to be a host and a server and a bartender and the Winnie Joe's Expo. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have one job. And I'm gonna have health benefits, vision, dental. I can get my 401k, I can start adding money to it again. And in a year or so, I can look about, it's a big company. Like there are over 50 locations in the United States. And there's one about 30 miles from where my daughters live. So, in about a year or so, I could start looking at transferring in the company to that location. So, not everyone at work, obviously, but most of the people I have told have responded with disbelief, sadness. One girl's like, "What day?" And I told her. And she goes, "The day after my birthday?" Well, happy fucking birthday to me. What kind of cake do you want? So, this is just, you know, if you've been watching, you know, I've been talking about it for a while. I had plans. I had mission. I was moving, right? I had a mission, and I was going to do other things. I had a plan. I just was waiting for the right opportunity. the opportunity came because I'm going to do pinks today. Last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months ago, I had a headhunter find my application on Indeed. And he was talking about, oh shit, I need to do my Duolingo before I leave. Otherwise, I'm not going to have the opportunity. I'm closing tonight. Anyway, he was talking about finding my resume on Indeed, and I was like, I didn't even know I still had a resume on Indeed. So I went on there and I updated it. That updated resume I hadn't even looked at in 6 months is the reason I got this job. Because that's the one that the recruiter from the company saw. I'm looking for a tan. Oh, there we go. Like that color. For an all over color. Anyway. So, check where your resumes are. Go update them. You never know when someone's going to be hunting and going, you know what, this person would be perfect for this job. Because that's what happened with me. Now, it's still going to be work. It's still going to be different than what I'm used to because it's a different kind of environment, but it's still a restaurant. It's just a different kind of restaurant. And I had to go to the interview. And you still have to get the job yourself. But I'm just saying. You never know. So if you got a resume out there somewhere, go ahead. Update it. It's been like 8 months. It was last year when they talked to me about it. That recruiter. When I updated my resume. It's just been sitting there without me looking at it. Speaking of ATs, which we weren't, but we always do, the new album's out. I pre-ordered the digital. I've got my physical copies coming. Yes, I said copies. Shut up. They released a new music video for Bad. It's an awesome video. I watched it 3 or 4 times. I don't understand all of it, but Son needs to stop looking at me like that. He's not my bias. Sir, respectfully, you're very attractive. Stop looking at me like that. Anyway. The song is awesome. It's been added to all my playlists. Actually 2 of the songs have been added to all my playlists. The other 2 are just on random playlists. But like my everyday playlist, no, I've got Bad and Mamacita. There's this one scene in the video that I'm talking about with Son. He's wearing this gold shirt. It's got like a V-neck, and he's like looking right at the camera and doing this chest pop thing. And I'm like, stop it. And then Stray Kids released a song, music video, the day before for the new album that's not supposed to be released till August, but they released this new song, and they released a single for the album, and they released the music video the night before ATEEZ released their music video, and their comeback album was Christopher. It's fine. It's an awesome song. It's called Run It. And it was released the day before my interview. And Stray Kids has this tendency to, like, kind of hit me when I need them the most. And so I'm listening to my playlist on my way to my interview, right? And on the way there, I've got Phoenix. I've got Bang 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 by Big Bang, obviously. I've got right before, like 3 miles away, Ceremony came on. Do It came on. Then I pull in and, which song? It was an AT song. I'm trying to remember which one. But it was basically, it wasn't Gorilla, but it's similar in vibe. It was very go storm the gates kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, guys, I appreciate the emotional support. About halfway through, though, Red Lights came on, and I'm like, I do not need this to be the last song I hear. This is not the vibe we're going to pull into an interview. Yeah. I wasn't sure what color I was going to do, since this is my last serving shift. But I'm wearing a pink shirt, so we're going to do pink. I haven't told my regulars yet. I told the busser. I have not told Dish. I have not told my kitchen. I'm not looking forward to telling my kitchen. I love my kitchen. But earlier this week, I keep wanting to say last week, but it wasn't last week. It was this week. It was Monday. I was in the office with one of the managers. It was a bad fucking day, man. And I'm sitting there watching the security cameras, and I'm deep in thought. And the other manager says, well, you know, if you want to go outside real quick, get a breath of fresh air, I'll handle everything out here. You can maybe get something to eat. I'm like, I'm not hungry. And I told her, I'm not going to be able to do this much longer. And she's like, yeah, me neither. And I already knew I had that interview on Wednesday, and I'm thinking, no, really, I'm not going to be doing this much longer. But I didn't tell anybody about the interview then. The same reason I'm not keeping my resume on the work computer. I ain't trying to borrow trouble. But I put a post in the group chat that I was leaving. About half the people responded. Not all of them, but you know, you're never going to be universally loved, and probably a lot of people are not, you know, invested one way or another. The people who are invested, the people basically that I've trained. They've known me for years. So. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to telling my kitchen that I'm leaving. And I still didn't do an official notice where like I wrote it on a piece of paper. What I did write on a piece of paper, it was a sticky note. It was a bright yellow sticky note. It just had my name and the date. And that way, I mean, everybody knows now, but I didn't want people knowing and telling tales before management knew. Am I going to tell my owner? No. I mean, he's nice enough, but I don't work with him on a daily basis. And there's nothing he could say that would keep me, because what he has to offer isn't enough. So it would do no good. I mean, if I was going to try to negotiate for something, yeah, sure, I would tell him, give him the opportunity. But no, I love my people. I love my kitchen. I can't do this anymore. And now I have an out date. And I've got about half of my things done that need to be done for the new job. I still need to get some other ducks in a row, but they're little ducks. And they're mostly like administrative shit, so I can't steamroll through them. I got my food handler's license, which I didn't need where I currently work. I got it. Still have my liquor license. I'm still working with food. But I feel real good about it because the woman who's going to be my direct supervisor called me personable. I was like, aw. Okay, so I knew it might be a mistake. It wasn't, but it could have been. She's like, tell me about your hobbies and interests. And I'm like, and she's like, I was like, well, since you asked. And then I went off for like 10 minutes. I talked about Stray Kids leading to me thinking about different languages, just starting learning Korean, which started me learning Italian, which started me learning Spanish, which started me learning French. So, yeah, it could have been bad. But I had already gone into this interview thinking, I am going to be myself. I didn't start going off with my rambling excitement. But she asked. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be working with this woman. I don't want her to be surprised the first time something happens and I get excited and I start, oh my gosh, and verbally Pompeii all over everybody. I want them to walk into this with open eyes and to know exactly who they are thinking about hiring. Now, part of that is because I wasn't, first of all, I didn't actually apply for this job at first. They did text me, the guy who I interviewed with texted me. He's like, hey, we're trying to get you through HR. Could you actually apply for this position? I'm like, oh, yeah. So they could send me the onboarding emails. I had to actually apply for the job. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Part of it was that. So I already went in. Basically just, okay, let's see what happens. And part of it is I'm 48 years old. And for a long time, I decided I was not going to diminish my shine. If I'm excited about something, I'm going to be excited. So, I'm very excited about this new job. Everybody I met's been really nice. Yes, I'm excited about the benefits too, because I currently don't have any. So any would be nice. But I'm also mostly excited because my boss told me that I wouldn't be able to pick up shifts. I wouldn't be able to take tips. I'm like, no, that's fine. I mean, I like waiting tables, but it's not my life's goal, you know? I serve because they schedule me to serve. And that day, okay, 2 annoyances. That day, they called me while I was, after the interviews, when I was out with my dad, because I took him out to dinner, and he wanted to go to a casino. Not the one anyway, he wanted to go to a casino. And I'm like, okay. So, I took him to the casino. And apparently, my boss called and asked me if I could come in and host. Now, I was in a casino, so basically it's like a Faraday cage. Phone calls are not getting through. Now, not all casinos are like this, but this particular one is. Watches don't work well. Well, not like regular watches, but like smartwatches don't work well. Phones don't work well. It is like a Faraday cage. They're like, no, the outside world does not exist when you're in here. So, my annoyance with the job, other than the fact that we're calling me in to be a fucking host on my one day off. My one day off. Was, so they published a schedule, right? Schedule's published. I look at it, like, cool. So, on July 1st, I am not scheduled to work. My dad had a VA appointment on July 1st. It wants me to confirm, reschedule, whatever. And now, I know if I reschedule, it's going to be like at least another month out. At least. This is before I had the interview and the everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm not working that day. I will confirm this appointment. 3 hours later, 3 hours later, I get a message on Hot Schedules telling me that my schedule has been changed. And so I look. I'm like, okay, well, they just adjusted my hours where now I'm not a closing manager on Sunday and an opening manager on Monday. Not mad about that one. That's a fine one. Appreciate it. And then my schedule got changed again. And so I looked to see what changes were made this time. And they put me as a server on the 1st. No. So rather than call the VA and try to rearrange an appointment, get it early or whatever, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it. Again, this is before my interview. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I put it up, put it in the group chat. I'm like, hey, they changed my schedule after it was published. I put up my shift. I hope someone picks it up, but I will not be there. I have to take my dad to the VA. Someone picked it up. Which is what I figured would happen. That's usually what happens because I don't call out. I don't give up my shifts. I don't ask people to take my shifts. I'm the person taking other people's shifts. So because of that, I don't have my fan with me. I'll be back. I don't have my fan because the brand new Korean glass skin care routine that fucking works, much to my annoyance. The first step is wash your face, right, with the cleanser. And then every step after, with the exception of the last one, is applied to a clean, dry face. You think I'm made of time? It doesn't say let absorb, any of that nonsense. It just says clean, dry. Okay, clean and dry. I can do clean and dry. Did I use, I think I used this one last time. Pretty sure I did. So we're gonna use all nighter. So, like I was saying, so this is now my last serving shift. Maybe forever. Because my plans from here don't require or involve restaurants. Well, I mean, they do involve restaurants. Most of my plans involve restaurants because restaurants. But I know restaurants. But they don't involve serving anymore. So this might be my very last serving shift ever. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm happy to be leaving. I'm not happy to be leaving my people. I'm happy to be leaving this particular part of my life where I've been stuck. So we're on the next step now. I said months ago, my next step was to get a better paying job with benefits, with more options. Here I am, walking out the door, heading on to my new future. So, if you've been with me this long, I appreciate you. I've been rambling. Then I had to go get the fan. Anyway, I'm going to have an Uncrustable and a cup of coffee for breakfast / lunch before I go to work. So, it's my last shift. I'm a closer. I'll tell my kitchen tonight that I'm leaving. I don't want to, but I will. So they're not blindsided when I just walk out the door for the last time. So, you have a great day. I could feel my cheekbones this morning. I was doing something, I was like, oh my God, I could feel my fucking cheekbones. That's so weird. Okay. Love you, bye.